What's up, guys? If you're here watching this video right now, I can assure you today is very exciting, because if you are watching this video, I'm sure you may know or you may have heard that roughly 90% of your behavior is shaped through your subconscious programming. So this is why it doesn't matter how hard you work, who you know, or what strategy you have. If your subconscious programming is out of alignment from your conscious desires, you will forever self-sabotage yourself and result in burnout or just simply quitting completely, and we don't want that for you. So as a hypnotherapist, yes, I'm an advocate for doing hypnotherapy with someone who is a professional, but you are the only person that is with yourself 365, 24/7. And so it is absolutely vital for every single body to know self-hypnosis, because like I said, you cannot become the person you want to be and experience what it is you truly desire without being in alignment with your conscious desires subconsciously. And so today in this video, we're going to be discussing how to use self-hypnosis and all the different things you can use self-hypnosis for. Now, before we get into this video though, there are a couple things that I have to address both safety-wise and educational-wise so that you can get the maximum benefit. So if you're excited for this video, let me know in the comments and let's go ahead and dive right in. First thing we're going to talk about is how hypnosis works, knock out a couple myths around this subject, and then what you can use self-hypnosis for. Because if you look up what can you use hypnotherapy for, you will literally get hundreds of answers. However, when you're using this by yourself, it's more of a symptomatic approach. So I will list out a couple of things that are really common for using self-hypnosis for. Now, the very first myth I would like to bust is that it is false that you can't be hypnotized. Every single body falls into hypnosis several times throughout the day, most likely without even knowing it. And the one time nobody can avoid falling into hypnosis is right before we go to sleep. Because all hypnosis really is a shutting down of the critical mind, aka operating in theta brain frequency, which we enter right before we get into the delta brainwave state, which is aka sleep. And so we're going to talk about times of the day that you're likely in hypnosis, but first we're just going to really talk about how it works, right? So real simple, we have three layers to the mind. We have the conscious mind, we have the critical mind, and then we have the subconscious mind. Roughly 88% of your behavior is shaped through your subconscious, and roughly 12% is shaped through your conscious. So all throughout the day, you are picking up message units, whether that be you're looking at someone, you're listening to a sound, you're thinking a thought to yourself. Everything is message units, right? Someone rubs up against you. Everything that you pick up with your five senses is a message unit. And so every single message unit, we're literally picking up multi-millions in every single second, is going into our conscious filter, and then it goes into our critical mind, which for roughly about an hour and a half, all of that information sits in the critical mind, where it attaches labels to it like this means this, I am the type of person that this happens to, etc. Right? So say for example, you go to a dog park and the dogs come and they kiss you, right? And so that's a really positive. Next thing you know, the dog starts showing you like unconditional love, even though like you walked away from it when it wanted attention, it still kept being really lovey toward you. Or say for example, you went to the dog park, you've never seen a dog before and it bites you, and so you got a negative association. Or you go to the dog park and it pees on you and you're like, and you didn't find it funny whatsoever. You're actually aggravated because you have to be somewhere after that. So you're starting to form negative associations. Now, since roughly 88% of our behavior is shaped through what is going on down here, this is really where the quote-unquote motivation lies. So when people say, I don't understand, I want this so bad, but I'm struggling having motivation, it's because there is more pain, there's more negatives attached to what you want at a positive level up here, right? Is this making sense so far? Drop any comments that you have about this, right? Because I'll be sure to answer every single one after this video. So we're taking in message units all day long. Now with hypnosis, the purpose of hypnosis is to give you suggestions in a way where it basically bypasses the critical mind so it can form in either a positive or negative association, however you kind of want it to form, right? So the reason why hypnosis is able to bypass this critical mind is because we put you in theta brainwave frequency, which shuts down the critical mind. And this is nothing to be really afraid of, because it's not like it's shut down completely and you lost your free will and people can control you. No, it's still there and you're still able to reject any of the message units that come in because you're still a human with free will. But it shuts it down so that this China wall is more so like a thin piece of paper now, right? So it's very easy to bypass and give you suggestions in that critical filter is no longer there, right? And so that's how hypnosis works, and that's why we can give you suggestions and you so rapidly get results versus if you're trying to reprogram yourself during a complicated time of the day. Now, some of the things that you can use self-hypnosis for is weight loss, insomnia, becoming more of a positive person in life, eliminating fears and phobias. I mean, that's huge, right? Fears of success. Maybe there's people you know that are afraid of leaving their house. That's really debilitating, right? These are all things you can use self-hypnosis for. You can desensitize yourself to things. So if you have a trigger, whether that be a sound, a picture, a person, a place, you can become completely desensitized to them. This is really good for anybody who has like panic attacks. So there's a number of things you can use self-hypnosis for. And again, there are more things that I mentioned. But then again, remember, it's not for every issue out there that you can actually use self-hypnosis for. So if you're wondering, if you looked up online, you're like, oh, I saw it can be used here, double check in the comments to make sure it can be used for self-hypnosis and that you didn't just check it for regular hypnotherapy, because that is a difference. But yeah, so that's how hypnosis works. Those are a couple of things you can use hypnosis for. And then now we're going to go into how to properly form a suggestion and then how to make sure you're set up in the right environment for that. Now, when it comes to suggestions, honestly, we could make like a 10-hour video on them because it can get pretty complex with all the different suggestibility types out there and all the different tools and treatments and ways you can, form a suggestibility. But the thing is, as long as you follow the 3 fundamentals of a suggestion, you are going to get benefit from using hypnosis. And so for beginner's sake, just to make sure that you're getting the results out of the hypnosis without confusing you, making sure it's very simple, we're just going to go over 3 things that you'll want to be sure of when forming a suggestion. So the very first thing is that it is positive, right? So if you're wanting to lose weight, you're not going to say, I am losing weight. You're going to state the end goal. So it's like, I am thin, lean, muscular, like whatever those adjectives are for you that feel good, whatever your end goal is, that's what you're going to put your focus on, because the mind is going to continue to create what the main focus is, right? And so it doesn't matter if you say no, not, whatever. If the main keyword is what you are continuously putting in, that's where the awareness and that's where all the behavior is going to be drawn towards. So you want to make sure you're stating it in a positive way. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're stating it in like you're stating it in a way where you can not only just say it in a way that's positive, but you can actually embody it, right? So you're not just saying like, I am thin, lean, and slender. If you feel like you're lying when you say that, what matters as well, along with the actual words, is how you feel. And it actually matters more about how you feel. So even though that's your end goal, if that's not sounding, if that's like the way it sounds isn't making you feel the way you want to feel, it's making you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm lying to myself, you want to tweak it a little bit. So you're still stating it positive, but you're saying it in a way that's more believable and that makes you feel charged and great about what you're doing. So you may say something like, I am becoming healthier every single day, or I am choosing better choices each and every single day, something along that nature. Which brings me into my third point, is you want to state it in a present tense. So this kind of goes along with the end goal, right? Like if you say like, I am fit, lean, and slender, like yes, that's present tense, but you feel like you're lying when you say that. You want to say it also in a way that's it's becoming, because you're still embodying it. So it's like, I am becoming more thin, lean, and slender each and every single day, right? Again, change those adjectives out, soften them a little bit if that causes too much resistance, right? Because the fundamental is yes, that it's positive, yes, it's present, but you have to feel it as well. That's really crucial. If you're not feeling it, don't even bother doing it, because it's a waste of time. So that's huge. That's how you want to form your suggestions. Now, the next thing is you want to make sure that your environment is set up properly. There's a couple of safety precautions that you want to have and association things that you want to be aware of as well. Times to never use hypnosis is when you need to be operating in your critical mind. So do not try to do this while you are driving. It's very dangerous. even though you fall into a hypnotic state a lot of times when you do drive, do not practice self-hypnosis while you're driving. It's a risk you don't want to take. You don't want to do this when you're operating any machinery, when you're supposed to be supervising the food, whatever, right? Something that you want to be operating your critical mind. Do not do that for. And you also don't want to do hypnosis in the areas that you don't want to form the association to. So for most of you guys, I know that sounds a little complex, so I'll give an example in a second, but for most of you guys, that's not going to matter because it's more so you're becoming like a different version of you, like you just want to be broken free of this fear all the time. But say, for example, you are using this for insomnia, right? You want to practice hypnosis in your bed, and the vice versa is the true. If you're doing this to become a more energized person, you don't want to practice hypnosis in your bed because it's forming that association to that place. Kind of like if you walk into an old place where you have really good memories at, you kind of already, you're like, man, like the memories are coming back and I feel good. It's because our body associates the way we feel with certain environments. So you want to be a little bit strategic about that, right? Like, is this something that I only want to feel certain times? Like, am I using this for insomnia and I only want to go to sleep like right here, not when I'm in my kitchen or in my living room when I'm supposed to be awake, like connecting with people, right? So keep that in mind. And then the last thing when it comes to like environment and the setup, make sure that you are supported, and it's best if you are slightly reclined, right? Like you feel very comfortable, hands on the side of the bed, on the sides of you, you're slightly reclined so it helps induce more of a relaxed state, but that your neck and your head is supportive. If anything, you want to make sure that your neck and your head is supported. Don't do hypnosis if your neck and your head is not supported, because you stand the risk of going like this, because what's going to happen is you're falling into a relaxed state, kind of like, and some of you might even get so deep you fall right before you go to sleep and your head will nod, and you stand the risk of neck injury. And although I'm someone who doesn't like to go over all the safety precautions and blah blah blah, we don't want any neck injuries, right? Comment down below if you can agree to that. So let me know that you guys promise to be safe and that you're going to set the environment up for success. That's huge. Now, the last thing we're going to do before I actually walk you through how to use self-hypnosis is I'm actually going to hypnotize you right now, and I'm going to condition you for a very deep state of hypnosis so that whenever you access this state on your own, you are already conditioned by a professional, and that it is like you're just able to easily access this, just to keep it simple, right? So when I'm gonna put you under hypnosis right now, I'm also gonna give you a series of words, both physical keywords and emotional keywords. And when we get done, when I awaken you out of this hypnotic state, I'm gonna have you write it down or write in the comments what that physical keyword and that emotional keyword is, and we'll discuss why in a little bit. So just go ahead and clear the headspace. If you're in a loud, noisy area, maybe pause this video and resume it for later, because right now it's kind of, if you're in a loudy area, like it's kind of pointless right now. So if you can't be in a hypnosis state right now, like you need to be operating in critical mind, remember, don't do this right now. Pause, resume the video for later. But for everyone that is ready to be hypnotized right now, be ready for the conditioning. Go ahead, clear space, get in a calm, comfortable place. And then when you're ready, just go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in, full and deep. Just go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in. And on that 3rd breath, just go ahead and close your eyes. And as you continue to breathe full, deep breaths, with your eyes still shut, just go ahead and bring your attention to the top center of your head. Continuing to breathe full, deep breaths, with your eyes still closed, and your attention now at the top center of your head. You begin to feel pressures and tensions of the day beginning to ease. And the physical body is becoming relaxed while the mind is becoming calm. And as you begin to feel that, it will grow and grow, starting at the top of your head. And just go ahead and give that feeling the permission to grow throughout your body. And as you do this, you begin to feel this sensation of energy flow over your facial muscles, down past your jaw, and swirling into the chest. Continuing to breathe full, deep breaths with your eyes still closed. All remaining tensions and pressures of the day are beginning to completely ease now, and the physical body is becoming completely relaxed while the mind is becoming calm. Continuing to swirl and flow through you, this feeling grows from the chest and swirls down through the arms, shooting through the fingertips. It also continues to move from the chest down through the belly into the solar plexus. And when the subconscious has fully accepted your body relaxing now, and your mind becoming completely calm, you'll notice a head nod. This feeling continuing to grow through the solar plexus, down through the hips, and through the thighs, where the physical body is relaxed and the mind is calm. This feeling continuing to grow down through the thighs, swirling through the calves, and through the bottom and tops of the feet, completing out through the toes. And as you become aware of this feeling, I'm going to now be going through a series of words. And you're just going to choose one word that relates most positively to how you feel right now. It doesn't have to be exact, just similar and in a positive way. Starting with number 1 is going to be heavy, heavy. The next is floating. Would you describe yourself as floating? And 3 is relaxed. Do you feel relaxed? Loose. How about loose? Perhaps tingly. Do you feel a tingly sensation? And limp. Would you describe yourself as limp? I'll go ahead and go through the words now, once again, and just go ahead and pick for your final decision. Heavy, floating, relaxed, loose, tingly, and limp. And now I'm going to focus on counting backwards from 5 to 0. And when we reach 0, we are going to focus on creating an emotional feeling. And you can go ahead and follow in your mind with the numbers now. Starting at 5, 4, 3, going even deeper now, 2, and 0. And now I want you to focus on your emotions. And I'm now going to be going through a series of emotional words, and I want you to choose one that sounds very pleasing to you. One that you can really connect with. And it's easy for you to connect with, even if it's just a subtle connection. The first one is calm. Do you feel calm? What about confident? Confident. Number 3 is success. Do you feel success? How about happy? Are you feeling simply happy? Joy. Do you feel joy? 6 is content. Do you feel content? And then lastly, peaceful. Do you feel peaceful? Now I'm going to go back again, and you're going to choose your final answer, starting with number 1. Is calm. Calm. Confident. Confident. Success. Success. Happy. Happy. Joy. Joy. Content. Content. Peaceful. peaceful. Now go ahead and pick your final decision. And after you choose, focus on this emotion and really let that feeling expand now. Really focus on that emotion that you chose and let that feeling expand. Completely wrap yourself in that emotion and just keep repeating that word. Say it and feel it. Keep expanding this feeling inside of you as you continue to say it, even if it's just a little bit at a time. And keep remembering that word. Most importantly, keep feeling and expanding that positive feeling of the word you chose. And now, I would like for you to visualize or imagine a staircase with 20 steps. It is very safe and secure. You may even be familiar with it. And in that moment, we are going to walk down the stairs. And with each step, it strengthens this positive feeling and both the positive emotional feeling as well. And now let's go ahead and imagine we are walking down now with both the physical and emotional feeling growing even stronger now, starting with the first foot. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, growing even stronger now, both the physical and emotional feeling. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and when we approach 0, this physical feeling and emotional feeling will be completely embedded into your subconscious. 2, 1, and deep sleep. Just say to yourself, deep sleep in your mind, 0. Now in self-hypnosis, after we give the words deep sleep, this is when you will give the suggestions that you have prepared. Create the images and positive feeling that empowers the change that you so desire. And you're going to repeat it several times with real intention and real feeling so it fully gets accepted by your subconscious and becomes your reality. And in a moment, you're going to fully learn how to do this. And then, after you have done this, we will always awaken ourselves at the end by using a count from 0 up to 5. And so in a moment, I'm going to do a count from 0 up to 5. And when we reach 5, your eyes will open to a positive, awake, non-suggestible state. Starting at 0, going up to 1, 2, 3, 4. Going up to 5 now, wide awake, eyes open, wide awake. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wide awake now, eyes open, wide awake. Wide awake now, wide awake. Good job. So go ahead and waken up fully in a couple moments and go ahead and either type into the comments or write down what your physical and emotional keyword was. Again, I will go ahead and repeat them in a second. But before I go ahead and repeat them, I would like to say that this is something that you want to be using all the time. It's not just a one and done deal. One of the laws of hypnosis is law of repetition. In order to really build a habit and plant something into our subconscious, a way of thinking, we want to repeat it day in and day out. So it's not like you have to be a drill sergeant about this, but you want to make sure that it becomes your dominant focus, because until then, it's not really a part of your programming. So we want to be doing this each and every single day. So going into the physical keywords, again, please make sure you either write this down or you write it into the comments, because you do not want to change your words. If you change your words after you've already been conditioned in hypnosis and you chose those words, you kind of mess up the progress and you're going to want to do it pretty much all over again. So make sure you do not change your words. You're writing them in the comments right now, or you're writing them down wherever you can keep them. The first word was heavy for physical. Did you feel more heavy? Again, these do not have to pertain to the feeling that you are creating whenever you are going to be giving yourself hypnosis suggestions, but this is just in relation to how you felt whenever we were just under hypnosis, right? So heavy was the first one, floating, relaxed, loose, tingling, and limp. Were you relaxed, tingling, limp, loose, heavy, or floating? Which one of those were you? Moving on to the emotional. We have calm. Were you feeling calm? Did you have a sense of confidence? Do you feel more successful, like a success? Were you more happy, joy, peaceful, or content? Again, I will put those on the screen and just give you guys a couple seconds to choose. Okay, so now that you got those words, I'm going to put you back under hypnosis and I'm going to walk you through how to self-hypnotize yourself. So now go ahead and take full 3 deep breaths in, just 3 full deep breaths. And on that third breath, just go ahead and close your eyes again. And with your eyes still closed, go ahead and bring your attention to the top center of your head. And as you continue to breathe full deep breaths and with your eyes closed, with your attention at the center top of your head, you begin to feel all pressures and tensions of the day begin to ease, and the physical body is relaxed and the mind becomes calm. And now in your mind, begin to repeat your physical keyword. While keeping all the attention at the top of your head, you will repeat your physical word and you will say it, letting it flow throughout your body, starting slowly with the top of your head, moving through the facial muscles. And just keep repeating that word, feeling that feeling throughout your body. And so if you started with the word calm, it may sound like calm, calm, calm. And each time you repeat that, flowing consistently, the feeling of calmness just flows through you like a wave throughout your body. And once you really feel that physical keyword, I want you to now count backwards from 5 to 0. And when you get to 0, I want you to now repeat your emotional word. See if you can feel it more from the heart center and move on outwards or around you, moving in. And you might focus on this word for an even longer time than the physical word to really allow yourself to expand into it. It may sound something like peaceful, 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 as you visualize or imagine a big blanket peacefully wrapping around you, allowing that feeling to really expand within you and around you. However you can most comfortably feel and visualize this feeling around this word. And then once you've really expanded on this feeling, I want you to now visualize or imagine. And again, not everyone can see a clear picture, so if you cannot see a clear picture, it can just merely be an imaginative, clear thought. And you're going to be standing on top of that 20-staired staircase. Very light, lit up and secure, safe for you to be on. And now I want you to walk down each step. And with each step, I want you to allow both the physical and the emotional keyword to grow.
grow even stronger now as you grow down each step. And when you reach the final step, you will say to yourself, deep sleep. And you're going to give yourself the suggestions of the words that you want. And you're going to give yourself the visual of you achieving it. And the wonderful, positive emotion to reinforce how wonderful that change really feels. And you're going to repeat this 4, 5, 6 times. And speak it, see it, and feel it. Really connect with it. And let your subconscious know that this is what you want. When you have really connected with this, and you have spoke it, seen it, and felt it, at least 5 to 6 times, you can then go ahead and awaken. And remember, we awaken ourselves by counting up from 0 to 5 and say, eyes open wide awake upon reaching 5. And so starting now, you may count with me. 0, going back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, coming up to 5 now. Eyes open wide awake now. Wide awake now.
Wide awake now. Wide awake. Good job. Again, I'll give you a couple moments just to fully take those full deep breaths in again. Get comfortable. Again, type into the comments any questions that you have. I'll really be happy to answer. Make sure that you're doing this properly and getting the most benefit as possible out of this. A couple of things I would like to mention before we hop out here that are really important to your success in using self-hypnosis is that, number one, again, remember, law of repetition is huge in hypnosis. If you're only doing this one time, might as well not do it at all. It takes a while to sometimes form a habit. Some things you can do with just a couple of times of hypnosis. Some things you will need to work on for months at a time. So it really depends on the person and issue. But fundamentally, law of repetition, do this each and every single day until you know that it is an automatic behavior and the people around you are noticing it as well. The second thing is that when we get kind of into this personal development spiel or whatever, however you want to say it, a lot of people want to go and just give themselves like an overhaul, right? Like, for lack of better terms, new hair, new makeup, new clothes, right? They just want to change everything about them. And although I get that, like I wrote a book and like my whole like transformation process when working with clients is like reinvent yourself. So it's like, I get that point, but there's also a reason that when I work with people, I'm not just working with them for a month to give them that progress. To completely reinvent yourself, to give yourself like a total transformation, it's going to take some time because you only want to work on one thing at a time. Reason being is, like, slower really is faster when it comes to reprogramming yourself. Reason being is we don't just maintain homeostasis on like a physiological level. If you guys don't remember homeostasis, that was like making sure your blood temperature is regulated, you have the right level of nutrients in your body, you know, like those physiological essentials we need to like be alive human. But we also maintain homeostasis on emotional and mental level as well. And each emotion produces a chemical, and we only have so much like willpower mentally each and every single day until we begin to form like a new pattern, right? And so we will literally always self-sabotage even with the right tools if we go too fast. It's very important that we address resistance slowly and incrementally. And if you have any questions on how to do this, definitely drop it into the comments. But it's very common for a lot of us. I know before I knew the importance of slower is faster in reprogramming, I used to get so frustrated because I'd always go in, okay, like I'm ready to grow my hair out and I'm ready to make like $1 million and I'm ready to attract my love and I'm ready to like perfect my body, you know, like all these things, right? And I'd get so frustrated because I was like, I know I'm strong and I can do that and I you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not going to be easy on myself. Like, I'm going to go hard. But we're working against, like, fundamentals of science within the human body. So I get that you want to be like top notch. I get that you want to go all in. And so because of that, know that the way you're going to achieve that is slower is faster, one thing at a time. You will go much faster dominating one thing at a time than trying to go in and do everything at once and get barely any progress because you're constantly freaking out your homeostasis and self-sabotaging. So again, drop any questions that you have in the comments. I'm always welcome to help answer in any way you have. Hypnosis has completely changed my life. It reinvented who I was completely, and so I just feel like it's my duty to really make sure that other people have that tools themselves, because nothing hurts more when you see people consciously trying to go after something, whether that be a new way how they want to feel or a goal they want to achieve, with a new strategy or a new mentor, but just not getting that results because they're solemnly focused on the action, like what do I need to do, right? And it's like, who do I need to be? How do I need to be programmed? Is really the first question we should be asking ourselves. So that's it. I love you guys so much. And as always, I always love to say, dream big, live large, and be live. Bye.